Now, American tariffs are most often paid by American consumers, but of course they cut into the sales of both Canadian and American businesses. Look south of the border. The Howard Family Designs is a custom furniture company in Michigan. It relies on Canadian lumber. As prices for their supplies go up, it's their customers who are struggling to absorb sudden added costs. And the loss of business forces that company to make hard decisions. Michael Howard runs it. He joins us now from Warren, Michigan. Michael, good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning.
You're looking at the prospect of yet more tariffs again tomorrow morning. What would that mean in the grand scheme of things for you?
It means that providing for my family is going to be more challenging. With the looming tariffs, we know we've already lost one potential project for a hospital that we were going to build some desk and furniture for, and 50% tariff will put it well beyond their range of affordability.
Yeah, so walk that through for me, because it's not just that it's becoming too expensive, it is that you are losing business. So this desk, for instance, or these desks to produce, because of the tariffs, it would just get too expensive for the customer themselves?
Correct. So we can't absorb the increase in costs. And so knowing these tariffs were coming in place, I had to follow up with several of my clients and let them know one person's getting a kitchen done. We're building their kitchen cabinets, which use softwood lumber that does come from Canada in terms of plywood. And they're willing to absorb the extra costs. This other client was not. And so we're going to lose about $3,000 in profit just for this one client, because they're not willing to absorb the increased costs that the president's tariffs is going to place.
And so you have to absorb it.
I either have to absorb it or pass it along to the customer. And because we're such a small company, it's like we don't have the means to just absorb the increased costs. It'd be too harsh for us. We can't afford it. And so we'd have to pass it along. I've already lost a staff member because the decrease in business.
You've had to let people go because this is impacting your bottom line.
Unfortunately, yes, I have.
You know, if the U.S. president, if your president was in this conversation with us, he would probably say, well, why don't you use American lumber instead? So I'd put that to you. What is the benefit of Canadian lumber?
That you guys have it. We do not have the capacity for lumber or aluminum to meet the need. And we know when the demand is high and the supply is low, that drives up the cost. Is like basic, middle school economics. You guys have the lumber. We get about 70% of our softwood lumber from Canada. We can't even imagine building a lumber mill. To bring a lumber mill online in time is just nearly impossible. It takes years to bring a lumber mill online, and it will decimate our forests. Whereas we have a great relationship with Canada, or at least had one. And that partnership is so meaningful in regards of the lumber industry. You guys have the supply that we need.
Yeah, sorry, I don't mean, Michael, to cut you off, but I do wonder, was tariffs a word that was even spoken inside your business a few years ago?
Absolutely not. As a small business owner, there are so many challenges in life when you're running a family-owned business, and our business really does pride itself on giving back to the community. So outside of running a business, our main conversation was how can we pour back into our community? Now we're having our conversation outside of running our business is global economics and how our tariffs are going to impact our customers, impact our staff members, and impact our ability to provide for our families.
So, Michael, look, you're not far from the border, but here we are north of the border. It's the top story today. It's probably going to be the top story nationally tomorrow. People are talking about it. People are worried about it, a lot of businesses. And yet south of the border, it's barely making the news. It doesn't seem like people are talking about it. Or if they are, it's quiet lobbying. Like the automakers are doing quiet lobbying of the White House. Few people are saying it out loud. Why do you think that is?
Unfortunately, I think it is genuine fear. The reality is it is Congress's job to levy taxes and tariffs, and we have a president that is operating outside, in my opinion, outside of his means, and no one's really holding him accountable, and it's negatively impacting businesses like myself, but businesses across the U.S. and across the border. And so I think there's a fear of if I speak out, I'll get retaliated against. in regards to lobbyists and people that would normally be discussing this, or news outlets, especially news outlets. We have seen that if a news outlet speaks out, they will be punished. But the reality is they're not speaking out on behalf of that news outlet. They're speaking out defending families like mine. And, school is about to get started soon. And so, we're going to need paper for our kids, and we're going to need school supplies and pencils, and all those things are impacted by the lumber industry. And a 50% tariff on lumber will simply make it harder for parents. I have 4 kids. It'd make it harder for us to be able to buy school supplies. It'd be harder for teachers that are already underpaid, undersupplied, and now they're going to have to come out of their pockets even more. It'd make it harder for business owners like me. So life in general is going to be very difficult, and I think people aren't speaking out of fear.
If you're right, if it is that people aren't speaking out of fear, you're speaking out right now. Does that mean you're not scared?
No, I'm not. I think it is our job to speak up when we see injustice, and what's going on is injustice, and it's not. It's harming our community, and so when we see harm, we have to speak out. These tariffs were initially allegedly put in place because of a theory about explicit drugs coming into America, and then it was a retaliation, and now there's another explanation, and it's like, we want to support American businesses, so we place these tariffs, and this is doing the exact opposite. Some businesses in our county have had to close because they rely on Canadian aluminum, and they're having to close because of these tariffs, and over the last couple of years, not just now.
All right, Michael Howard, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.